Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So one of my friends actually told me that players are basically struggling to use the advanced builder and trying to understand on which builder they actually are. So I'm gonna do this small tutorial here. So right now this is a generated hull, as you can see. Generated hull is basically simple building. So if I press left click here and I hold it, you can see I can grab most this hull and change the shape quite easily. We can also grab here, right? That is with generated stuff, right? So if I put a turret here that it's generated as well, I can do pretty much the same. You can see I can change everything by just sliding my mouse, and you can also change it from here. Now if I use Freeform, that's going to change. So I can either set this to become a Freeform by going down here and enter Freeform mode, right? Or can use like this turret. This was already Freeform. Then I can change whatever I like to on it. So let's change the hull. Let's use this hull here. I'm gonna remove the fenders, right? And I'm gonna use, let's see, I'm just gonna use this one. Put it down here, right? So I have Freeform turret and Freeform hull. So first thing that you'll notice that once you have a Freeform hull, right, you can actually change the tracks separation. Or for example, I can do something like this. It's handy because you can work on the hull without bumping into your tracks, but it's handy for many things. You can also make the tracks wider. Let's make them wider, right? And yeah, I mean, you need to fix the road wheels, of course. Make the road wheels move out. Let's see, something like that, right? But yeah, that will make your tank look like that. Let's keep it like that, actually. Ridiculous. And now I'm gonna show you the how to freeform basically. So right click on the hull or right click on the turret to switch them or switch between them. That's what I mean. And we have three options here. We have points, we have edge, and we have faces. So I'm actually gonna show you on the turret here. So this is point. If I press down here, right, I have movement, and I can manipulate every point I like. If you have mirroring on, it will do the same on each side. So I can do that. For example, if I right click here, select this point, I can then do that, right? I can also move the turret how I like, because this is the pivot of the turret, so make sure you don't change that. And then we have edge. So with edge, I can grab one edge, for example, and then I can modify it how I like. Also, you can create a bit more points. So right now I have 6 points on each side. So if I want to create more, right, so I can create more different shape, more complicated shape. So I have to do something called splitting. And to split this turret here, I'm just gonna grab this and this, and I'm gonna split like so. And now, as you can see, I have a bit more points here, and I have a new edge, which is this one, right? And now I can make this thing look like this. And I can do the same for the back. That's how you split a turret. And if you want, so I split like this, right, horizontally. I'm gonna split Actually I split vertically, not horizontally. Let's split like this now, and that should create a bit more points, you can see. So let's make this part higher now, right? Gonna make it look a little bit ridiculous. And with this one, with edge, you can see I'm did just that. And if I want to, I can also rotate this. Make sure you have rotation freedom on, like so. And I can move this back again and maybe lower it. As you can see, I'm creating a lot more shapes. And then you have something called faces, but first I'm gonna split once more so you can see what it actually does. Let's see, can I split once more? Yeah. As you can see now, I have split it a lot more. So faces, I can grab each face that I made like this, and I can modify it slowly. This is handy if you want to make like a turret that's not so symmetric, or for example that it has one edge, you know, a bit more sloped than the other. And I can also, if I want to, I can also modify that. As you can see, modifying that pretty good. Right, let's grab this point here, put it back. And I can also split like this. Let me see, can I split like this? Split once, yep. There you go, see? So as I mean, it's not too hard, you just have to practice a little bit. I haven't played Sprocket in a while though. Grab this one. As you can see, I'm trying to make this weird bubbly shape. Right? And it looks something from from the Alien movies. But I mean, it's a turret. Right, let's put a cannon on it. Let's see what it looks like. Firepower. Oh yeah, we can totally do that. We can totally do that. Let's do that. Look at that. Looks pretty good. Let's do something. Let's modify this hull, right? Since I'm doing this weird alien looking tank. Let's do something. So if I want to, right, I can use this hull now. Yep. Use this hull. I'm going with or round shapes. So later on we're gonna smooth this, so keep watching. So as you can see, it's very hard to grab all these nodes, but I can do select all. I can do this one, scale. Then and sort of fit that in. Right, maybe not so much from the back. Like that. Then we can also move this forward, maybe downward. Right, a little bit more. Scale. I think that's okay. Right, let's use, so here it's very hard to use edge because this thing is already split so many times. Let's try splitting once again. And we're going to use, or I'm going to use face. So I'm just gonna lift this up. See, I'm gonna lift this a little bit as well. As you can see, taking shape a little bit. So I'm gonna grab this edge here. very hard sometimes to grab the edge exactly, because it starts grabbing stuff, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they will fix that someday. Let's try like that. Can I grab it like this? Ooh. As you can see, I just did some sort of a mount, and that's because I didn't grab the edge right. I need to grab this part here. No, can't really grab it though. There you go, now I did. I'm pressing right click on it, but it's not working. Right, let's use points then. If that happens, right, just use points. Even with points is very hard. Let's see. There you go. Not sure if it's a camera problem. Go grab them. I would grab them. Move that. A little bit more round shape here. What we can do also, see, this is smoothness, right? Let's remove the smoothness so I can see exactly how thing looks. So I need to this up, this up. Right, let's move this forward, because if you look here, right? I'm sure you guys can see this. The stick is bent a little bit backward. I mean, gonna that and move these as well. Sometimes when you do these type of shapes, right, it will start to look weird sometimes. Start having like weird edges. Might have to remove the tracks here to separate. For example, here, right, something a bit more smooth. All right, grab this. All right, let's put the tracks back in. All right, and you can see starting to look like a futuristic tank. And gonna do so, as you can see, I have this part here. So I'm going to extend that part a little bit. So I'm going to use faces here. I should be able to grab that pretty easily. I'm going to grab this part here as well. I'm going to extend that just a little bit. That looks okay. And I'm going to hide part as well. And that looks okay. So let's smooth everything out. So we have the smooth tool here, and as you can see, it doesn't look too bad. I have something here popping up. I'm gonna fix the edge a little bit here. So I'm gonna use points here. Push you in, sir, and out. Trying to hide this fluid box here. Okay, though. So I'm gonna do the same to the turret. Right click on the turret. You have smooth angle up here. I'm gonna give this thing a little bit of smoothness. That looks exactly like that. And I'm gonna lower this part a bit because it looks a bit pointy. You have to play a lot with it, and until you've happy with the results, basically. Okay. Firepower, cannon. I think this is better. Ah, not really. Try these again. Right. That's right, I can have two muzzles now, right? Right, right, so let me 120 millimeters, that's fine. 120 millimeters, shell length 400 millimeters, that's uh, oops, 600 I mean. I think that's fine. Lengthwise, let's thickness modifier here. Pretty good. Right, let's do link. Oh, what have I done? So I have to do this, right, and then have to do this. Yep, there you go. Okay, perfect. You can see it looks something out of the Alien series, but it looks nice. Quite round. Quite round. Maybe I'll give it a little bit more smoothness here. So another thing you should do is, I said this in another tutorial, change the color of your tank. Just make it something more blue. Blue is fine. Because, you know, black, can't really see shapes very well. So if you look here, kind of see. Now it's a bit more smooth than it was. Yeah. Let's modify something here. Let's try to modify this Panther, for example. We have this Panther, right? Let's remove that. Some of the stuff here. Right. So, for example, we have this Panther. So right now, this Panther is, let me see. So it's not advanced or freeform building. So I'm gonna press enter freeform here. Boom. And I have to do the same for the hull. Although the hull doesn't look that bad actually. Maybe needs to be a little bit lower than it should be. Right. The mantle is fine. Right, so I'm gonna give this Panther a little bit better shape. We have to remove stuff though. This. Right. You also have an option here where you can destroy all the parts. Actually, let's do that actually. Destroy everything. Yes, sir. There you go. Can do that, and let's see. So this thing is a bit too wide, and it's a bit too high. So what I'm gonna do, can I either grab these points here? So, by the way, you see this here? This is the turret itself. So if I touch this, I'm gonna change the turret's position. It can be handy for some tanks. So I'm gonna lower this a little bit here. And now I'm going to lower this. I'll lift this up a little bit more to give it that, you know, slope. And you can see I just barely touched it. It's already looking a little bit better. Let's do some edge. So I'm just gonna grab these edges here. Right, I think one side is fine. And I'm just gonna give it a little bit more slope here. Right, and I'm gonna make this part here a bit smaller. Right, so I'm actually gonna check here is 26 degrees, 54, 54. This part here needs to be a little bit more sloped. So I'm just gonna grab this. Right, and this part needs to be a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna change this hull a little bit. It's a bit too high, right? So I'm just gonna change the tracks a little bit here. So let's make these road wheels a little smaller, just a little bit. There you go. This has to be a little bit more front side. Rocket. That looks okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna lower this hull a little bit. So to lower the hull, right? Gonna do select all. Actually, I need to select the hull first. Select all. Then I'm gonna lower it like this. That is better than it was. I'm just gonna lower it a little bit more. I think the sprocket needs to be a little bit smaller. But shape-wise, it looks fine. Actually looks very fine. So I can grab this sprocket here. Put it somewhere here. Right, I need you to be a little bit smaller. There you go, much better. Look at that. Right click on the turret and lower it. You can also create a turret ring here. That Panther is already looking much better than it was. To lower this idle wheel. Right, idler mount, like that, perfect. Then the mantlet of the Panther, which is this one. That is pretty good. I'm going to push this in a little bit. I'm gonna also modify the shape. Fortunately though, you can't modify the rotation. That is something that hopefully they will do. 75, that's to length here. Right, a nice muzzle. And we need to bit more thickness here. Right. God, that looks big. Let's do 5. 75 millimeter, but the thickness of the muzzle and the rest of the things, it looks way off. No idea why. That, I think it needs to be a bit longer, the cannon. I'm not sure. But it's looking a lot more Panther than it was. And so what I can do now, I can do some custom fenders. Let's see, so I'll go crew. And I can do some custom fenders here. See. Sure how I'm gonna fit them. But I think first I should make one of these. Something like that. Looks okay. Bit wider. A little bit wider. Okay, I think that's fine. Right. Gonna use these trays here. I think they're called trays, right? So I'm just gonna fit one in first. Try to fit one in. To see how it looks like. Then I'm gonna clone it. That is not bad. Not bad at all. Right. Sure that it's mirroring perfectly, but it needs to be a little bit less wider, I think. But it's fine. As you can see though, you can easily create whatever you want. Let's do another one here. Gonna make it a bit shorter by scale. Right. Slow that. And now I'm gonna create something for the back. So for the back, can do. Grab one of these, rotate it. So back up. Wider. Same. Looks a bit weird. A bit weird. So sometimes, right, if that looks weird, you can use these panels. Color those throwing me off. It's something with a solid color. That's much better. Right, let's see, let's see. Right, I'm just gonna make it wide as possible right now. Want to make sure that it fits here under the, almost under the hull, right? So, right, let's modify this now. I need longer. I needed to meet this thing. We make you a little bit longer. There you go. Okay, let's grab this again. Right. Make sure this thing is leveled, because it doesn't look leveled at all. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's not this, not leveled at all. To go side. Alright, let's make it shorter. Change the angle a little bit again. Right, change the angle, and I need to change the shape a little bit more. There we go. The angle. Oh no, wrong angle. The red one. There you go. Perfect. Just want to make sure that, you know, rocks will not be thrown back, basically. It looks okay. I mean, it's not perfect. These fenders, they need to be a little bit smaller, definitely. But it looks more Panther-like now. You can see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Just remember that there's a big difference between freeform and generated. And yeah, make sure to like this video if you think I helped you, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new to, you know, my Sprocket videos. And I'll see you again for more Sprocket stuff.